Hey there, John here, and I've been living a lie. A funny thing about beliefs is that it's easy to convince yourself of something and not look into it anymore and to just accept it as fact and to repeatedly live in a world where that is just the truth without it necessarily being true, but you believe in it so much that you have no reason to even consider that it might not be true. One of those beliefs, one of those unchanging, unshakable, unquestioned beliefs is the house into which you are sorted. In the Harry Potter book series, all new students admitted to Hogwarts are taken through a ceremony where they are sorted into one of 4 houses. Gryffindor is all for bravery, Slytherin is all for ambition, Ravenclaw is all for intelligence, and Hufflepuff is all for hard work. That is a huge generalization, and obviously there is a lot more detail to it than that, but that's a good starting point, I think. After all the books had come out, there was such a huge fan base that was yearning for more content, so a website was produced called Pottermore, where you, yes you, could be a student in Hogwarts, go through the ceremony, and be sorted into your own house. Me from the past signed up, did the ceremony, answered 7 questions, I think, that were seemingly random, but they sorted me into Hufflepuff, and it made sense. I looked at everything the house stood for, I looked for the general culture and the feel of who is in that house, and it seemed to fit with who I was. And it was a bunch of hardworking people, a bunch of really loyal people, basically the best friend that you want to have. They also tend to be the house that gets teased the most and catches the most flack, so for years I have been waving the banner of don't hate on Hufflepuff. They're cool, don't be ashamed of it, you know, hey, fellow Hufflepuff, yeah, wear it with pride, absolutely. But here's the thing, I got this random urge to go back into the Pottermore system and see how it works, because the first time I went into it, the website was new, my computer was old, it didn't really run that well, I didn't remember it being that fun because of the technological limitations, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna jump back in, see if my computer is better and maybe the website is better and it plays together nicer. Couldn't remember my account, so I started over from the beginning, went through the whole process, went through the sorting ceremony, and it put me in Ravenclaw. And for the first time I took a serious look at what the Ravenclaw house was about and what the people were like and what the culture was like, and it makes more sense for who I am now. I may, in fact, no longer be a Hufflepuff. And I feel like I'm trading all of these great qualities that I used to have in my youth, that I was loyal and I was a hard worker and I was maybe a little bit goofier and got teased a lot for it, but hey, I was who I was. And I still identify with a lot of that, but I also identify with creativity and intelligence and wit and really getting hooked onto a problem until it is solved. That makes a ton of sense for me as well. This has been driving me a little bit crazy for the past couple of days, and it wasn't until a few hours ago that I found out about hybrid housing, and you can, in fact, be in 2 houses at once. Because as it turns out, it is very difficult to take people and sort them into very discrete categories. You can't say there are only 2 types of people in the world. You can't say there's only 4 types of people in the world. No matter what categories you pick, there will always be people with a foot in both. But that's okay. Only having 2 types of people, only having 4 types of people would be so boring and counterproductive and just an awful way to live. Having a range of people who have elements of different things mixed together in different ways, that's what makes this world unique. So I do not have to feel ashamed for leaving one house for another. I do not have to feel like I don't have a house because I don't fit into one of these categories. I belong to 2 houses. I have dual citizenship. I am a Ravenpuff and proud of it. Toodles.